Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Sir John Oldcastle, and we get to hear from the Earl of Cambridge again today in Act 3, Scene 1. Now, in this scene, we have learned that the Earl of Cambridge thinks that he has the rightful claim to the English throne, and he wants to overthrow King Henry V, either overthrow or get rid of. And he and his guys, Scroop and Grey and Shot, the French guy whose name I'm going to mispronounce every time, they are going to Lord Cobham's house, Sir John Oldcastle's house, because they want him on board with them as well. And as they're arriving at his house, they see that John is coming back, but he still has his riding gear on, and it's because John has just returned from court. He was just visiting with King Henry V, and he's like, "Oh, my dear friends, how are you? Sorry, I don't think I have a whole lot in, but let's hang out for a bit." And they're like, "We might want to do a bit of hunting. Let's go hunt a stag." And he's like, "Oh yeah, we could go do that. That could be fun. Let's go get a stag and we can kill it and we can, dine on that." And the Earl of Cambridge says, "Nay, but the stag which we desire to strike lives not in Cowling. If you will consent and go with us, we'll bring you to a forest where runs a lusty herd, amongst the which there is a stag superior to the rest, a stately beast that, when his fellows run, he leads the race and beats the sullen earth as though he scorned it with his trampling hooves. Aloft he bears his head, and with his breast, like a huge bulwark, counterchecks the wind. And when he standeth still, he stretcheth forth his proud, ambitious neck, as if he meant to wound the firmament with forked horns." So he's using stag as a metaphor to describe King Henry. He's saying it's not a stag that we want to go and find. It's a stag that we want to go hunt, and this particular stag is better than everybody else and stands very proud and is very loud and all of these sorts of things. But Sir John Oldcastle doesn't catch on at first that this is a metaphor. He's like, "Well, if this beast is so great, why do you want to kill it?" And they're like, "Okay, so just back up a second, read this parchment. This is what we're really going for." So they hand him these letters that they had with them. And John is like, "Wait, what? You're going after King Henry? What? What?" And they're like, "Yeah, I have the rightful claim." The Earl of Cambridge is like, "I have the rightful claim, and it's all laid out there in that paper. Are you going to come with us and do this?" And John gets to have a little aside where he's like, "Oh, these guys are villains." And then he comes back and he's like, "Okay, yes, I see that your claim makes sense, but how do I know that this isn't just you setting me up?" And they're like, "No, we swear we're not." And he's like, "All right, well, will you all sign this thing that you have that says that you want to kill King Henry V, so that we know that this is a blood oath pact kind of thing? That would make me feel better about all of it." So of course we'll sign it. So they bring out paper, or they bring out pen and ink, and they each sign their name to this document. And he's like, "Okay, well, this means that we are brothers in blood, and where am I supposed to meet you?" So they give him all the details. He's like, "Okay, I'll do that. I will meet you there." So they all leave, and he has a moment by himself where he's like, they are awful, and I can't let them mount an attack on my king. Because remember, when he was talking to King just a little bit ago, he was like, "My loyalty is to God first and to you second. King Henry V, I am loyal to you, but don't make me believe things that I don't want to believe." And King Henry was very amenable to that. So Sir John Oldcastle really has nothing against King Henry, and he's mortified that these people are trying to recruit him to go help get rid of the king. So he's like, "Oh, this is awful, this is awful." At which point, his wife, Lady Cobham, and Lady Powys and Lord Powys and Harpole all come out, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how you going? How's everything with you?" And he's like, "Oh, it's so good to see everybody." And Lady Powys is like, "Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about my husband." And Lord Cobham's like, "Oh no, here, I have his pardon. You guys are fine, you're all good." But he's like, I hate to do this, but I need to turn around and go back to court right now. I need to ride right now. And his wife, Lady Cobham, is like, wait, like, you're gonna ride through the night? You just got here. Like, you have to get back so fast? He's like, yeah, I really do. I have to get back. Please don't ask me why, but I gotta run. I'll talk to you later. So he exits, and the remaining ones are like, I hope that he's okay, and I hope that everything works out just fine. And that's the end of the scene. So we've got King Henry maybe wanting to go fight Lord Cobham and the French and Merle the brewer and all of those people that have been assembled. But we've also got Lord Cobham riding to King Henry to try to protect his life at the same time against this other faction that wants to kill him. And we still have this whole Protestant versus Roman Catholic thing going on too. So lots of stuff to still sort out. Come on back tomorrow for more, and we'll see where it goes from here. See you then. Mwah.